is a native of the Shreveport area. He served as vice president and assistant GM of the Shreveport Captains, became the first general manager of the New Orleans Zephyrs, where we had a chance to work together, and it was truly a pleasure. Today, he serves in great fashion as the president and CEO of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, a nonprofit organization whose goal is to attract and manage sporting events that will have a positive and definitive economic impact on the Greater New Orleans area and the region. He served as executive director of a couple of Super Bowls and host committees, and it's great to have him and his organization as part of the Quarterback Club. Please give a warm welcome to Jay Cicero. Jay?
Thank you, Ken, and thanks everyone for coming out today. I know that our executive committee is mentioned, but and all of our board members here, we really want to thank you. Our executive committee is sitting right here in front, and a longtime friend and member, Ron Maestri, is here. We want to point out Mace, a big part of not only the Sports Foundation, but sports in New Orleans for many, many years. I also want to thank Ken, Stan, Kyle, and Scott for their years of service and hard work for the Quarterback Club. I think they've been around for 77 years now, and there's never been a more exciting time to not only for us to partner with the Quarterback Club, but an exciting time for sports in New Orleans. Sports Foundation also has a couple of sponsors here that we want to recognize. Chevron is here with us today, and First NBC, many of you know Louis Bolero from First NBC. They're great supporters of our organization. Thank you for coming. Ken mentioned our organization attracts and manages sporting events, and you know that's the bulk of what we do. We work with national governing bodies and owners of events to figure out which events would be a good fit for New Orleans, whether it be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years out. And we do all the work behind the scenes in putting together the bids and the figuring out whether or not the revenues and expenses associated with these bids are feasible, whether or not we have the housing, the facilities, the volunteers, you know, all that it takes to do this. It's a very complicated process, and we're always working behind the scenes to make it happen. But you can't do it without great partners, and great partners in the New Orleans Saints with Dennis and his group. The All-State Sugar Bowl on the College Football Championship game. Dennis's group with, you know, as far as on the Pelicans for NBA All-Star Game, AAU events, Final Fours with Tulane and the University of New Orleans. It's just it's just a pleasure for us to be involved in so many events for the last 27 years, and to really bring these events, continue to bring these events back to New Orleans. Back a few years ago, we went on an unprecedented run between 2011 and 2014 that included AAU Junior Olympic Games, our third time to host that, a Bassmasters Classic, our fourth time to host that, the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament, the third time to host that, the Men's Final Four. It was our fifth Men's Final Four, but the third one that the Sports Foundation was involved. Super Bowl, of course, it was the third Super Bowl that the Sports Foundation was involved, and served as the host committee, but the 10th one overall in the city. NBA All-Star Game and Women's Final Four, back-to-back in those years too. So that unprecedented run in this very short period of time, any city would love to have those kinds of events. And we're back at it pretty hard right now. We're currently working with Dennis and the Saints on a bid for the Super Bowl. That bid is, the preliminary bid is due in November, and the decision is made in May. We're working with the Sugar Bowl on the College Football Championship game bid right now. Hopefully we'll find out in November time period on a site selection for that event. We're working with S&G on all of these events at the Superdome or the arena, but specifically with WrestleMania, trying to get it back to the city right now for 2018. And we're also working with one of our partners for an event that we started last year here in Kenner And the city of Kenner on the lakefront, AVP, the AVP Professional Beach Volleyball Tour. Great event, fun event. We have it again in 2016. We're currently working on extending that contract. We're also excited that of a possible program here each week that we want to do. It's along with Chevron. It's recognizing a student athlete scholar of the week and carrying that program out over the course of each week at the quarterback club here, and then recognizing them at the end of potential scholarship for one of the student athletes there. So I want to thank Chevron for their support in that area. In closing, I want to thank everyone again for attending, but our goal is to continue this weekly tradition and to have a platform to talk about what we're doing and what we do not only in the community but for major events, and that's extremely important to us. Now, Ken's informed me that the format of this is that we speak for 5 to 7 minutes, and then there's going to be a Q&A. There should be a couple of microphones being passed around, so if there's any questions that anyone has of me right now, you can just raise your hand and the microphone will be passed to you, and we can answer them for a few minutes, and then Ken will cut me off when my time limit is done. Anyone?
Which year of the Super Bowl have we been to?
The question is what year are we bidding on the Super Bowl? It's 2019 or 2020. Anyone else?
How was the Super Bowl bid?
The Super Bowl bid?
The Super Bowl.
The national championship game. Yeah, the Sugar Bowl committee handles the Sugar Bowl itself. But we turned in our initial bid over the summer. We had a site visit from the College Football Championship Game group this summer also. And I think our bid is strong. It's a good financial bid. The Sugar Bowl has put up some financial backing for it. We have the state of Louisiana who is supporting us through a special event fund that was created in the legislative session, plus whatever funds we're able to generate privately through sponsorship and other areas for that major event. So hopefully we'll know something on that in November, and cross our fingers. I think we've got a strong bid, a much stronger financial bid than we did last time, and with a couple of them underneath the College Football Championship Game group's belt, underneath their belt, we know a lot more about what the event is and what the potential of it is. So, hopefully we'll have something, hopefully have some good news here in November. Anyone else? Again, thanks for coming in.